What you are going to witness tonight is basically a trans-Canadian blossoming of jazz. They're doing 100 performances across the country of Canada. Tonight, spirit, peace, and of course international friendship is their goal and their mission. I am one of the two MCs this evening. I'd like to introduce the first one, which of course is Michael Dubin, the General Manager of Client Services for the Corporation of the City of Windsor. Michael?
Thank you very much. And my co-MC today is Gordon Orr. He's the Managing Director of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And don't worry, the dog's not real, so you don't have to worry about it. We have a couple of trio. They're around here somewhere. If they can say hello. You guys just wave. There'll be more. And the Honorary Council of the Netherlands, Dr. Tarfrucht, is also here. He's right over there.
We march on the colors.
Good. Colors to the short carry. Carry, color. Right or left. Quick. Mark.
I was born in Holland. I was born in The Hague. I came to Canada in 1955, and I lived through the Second World War as a little boy. I was 6 years old when the war started and 11 when it was over. So I have a great love for Canadians, and not because I am one now, but because in 1945 they liberated us. Bless this gathering, bless each one of us, whatever denomination we might be. Bless us in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Moes varna sawa bedik vaartuig zijn bloed. Den vaderland getrouwen, blijf ik tot dienst en doet. In prinsen van Oranje ben ik bij onverweerd. Den koning van Spanje heb ik altijd geëerd. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Honored veterans, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome the trio here and the Tulip Festival to our community as part of the 60th anniversary celebrations. And one of the things that always captures Canadians' historical vein is our role with the liberation of the Netherlands. One of my caucus colleagues, Peter Stouffer, was actually born in Holland and speaks with a lot of pride about coming to Canada, becoming a Canadian citizen, but also making sure that his Canadian roots and his heritage go back to Holland every year to make sure that he can express his gratitude to the people there for remembering and also honoring the graves of Canadian soldiers that fallen during the war, and they involve the schools, the culture, the communities. And it's a special relationship that we have. So I'd say thank you very much for the Tulip Festival for coming and making sure this bond, this relationship is fostered and developed in the Year of the Veteran. We have to make sure it gets stronger every single year. God bless our veterans.
Thank you, Gordon. Good afternoon, everyone. To our distinguished guests, welcome to the Honorary Council to the Netherlands. Welcome, my friend. To all of you, this is a special day for the City of Windsor as we welcome the 2005 60th Anniversary Friendship Concert featuring Lulic Perwanto and Helsdingen Trio, the internationally recognized jazz ensemble. This is a concert that's part of a nationwide tour, as has been expressed to you earlier, organized by the Canadian Tulip Festival and endorsed by the Royal Netherlands Embassy. And it marks and reenacts the 60th anniversary of the gift of the 100,000 tulip bulbs to the Canadians by the Dutch royal family, as a symbolic thank you to Canadians for providing safe haven for members of the Dutch royal family in Ottawa during World War II, as well as a thank you for the important role that the Canadian military played in the liberation of the Netherlands. It was the first Canadian army that played the major role in the liberation of the Dutch people, who suffered terrible hunger and hardship. And it came at a tremendous sacrifice. More than 7,600 Canadians died in the 9-month campaign to liberate the Netherlands. They made tremendous sacrifices in the cause of freedom. Today, we honor their memory and the memory of those who fought and died in all of those campaigns. Today, we also honor the veterans who came home. And we say thank you, understanding that we can never repay them for all the sacrifices that they made on our behalf. Of note, under the command of General Henry Duncan Graham Crayar, the 1st Canadian Army in the Netherlands was international in character. It included Canadian, British, Polish, American, Belgian, and Dutch soldiers. In fact, during the final phases of the war, it was the largest army that had ever been under a control of the Canadian general, with between 105 and 175,000 Canadian soldiers and more than 200 soldiers, all told. They were a diverse group working together for liberty, to end the war, and to bring peace. So how fitting is it that we are here today gathered to celebrate our liberty, our peace, and our magnificent diversity through the music of this concert that I am told is drawn from many traditions. Today, together, we celebrate our diversity. We celebrate our communities and the respect and affection between them through the imagery of flowers. I'd like to call upon Renee van Helsdingen to come forward, please. And on behalf, as well as the Honorary Consul General to the Netherlands, because on behalf of the City of Windsor, I would also like to make a presentation to mark this special commemoration as a gift of remembrance and a celebration of what today means for the City of Windsor, and what our history has brought us forward and what our future holds as two communities come together. It's my honor to present to both of the gentlemen City of Roses, the Nell Rose.
What a beautiful city, Windsor. What a beautiful country, Canada. You're looking at the stage bus. This is a bus rebuilt by a good friend of mine in Amsterdam, an artist who in 6 weeks' time built this bus for us to travel all over the world. And we've been in Indonesia, Australia, America, Europe, but now for the first time in Canada. And what a great country it is. Pianist of the group and the husband of the artist. We're doing 100 concerts in 76 communities all over Canada, and every note we play is a tribute to the World War II veterans. And I would like to present a special friendship tulip garden of 600 tulip bulbs that we get from Holland to you, Mayor Francis. And this is in honor of the World War II veterans. And we hope that you will find a nice place here in Windsor. I understand the tulip garden will be placed right at the City Hall. Thank you very much.
Before I start, I need to say three things. Mr. Helsdingen doesn't know that he cannot take roses with him back to Holland because they're not bare-rooted. Has to stay here in Canada. Guess where it's going to end up? In front of my office. Secondly, the two young women who sang so beautifully the Wilhelmus van der Zauer should realize that the full national anthem consists of 48 verses. So they really just got off as a very nice and easy, but yet as it was very nicely done. There's no two ways about it.
And there was a 30 mark which we'll make later on. Mr. and Mr. MC, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Massey, of course, the military, the veterans, all of the distinguished guests, this is Mr. van Helsdingen, and the trio behind us, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start out with asking those of you listeners who are actually veterans of the Second World War to stand up for a moment so you can be identified. So the rest remain seated. There's a time for everything and there's a season for every activity under heaven. There's a time to be born and a time to die. There's a time to plant and a time to uproot. There's a time to kill and a time to heal. There's a time to tear down and a time to build. There's a time to weep, to cry, and a time to laugh. There's a time to mourn, and there is a time to dance. And we go to the bottom there. There's a time to love and a time to hate. There's a time for war, and there is a time for peace. Ladies and gentlemen, these statements of contrast characterize in many ways your and our experiences of the past 60 years. And this is particularly, of course, directed at our veterans here. The Dutch mourn, and they continue to mourn, your losses. We are silent when you mourn your deaths and those that who were injured. We are joyful, however, when we reflect on your victories and therefore on our freedom. Therefore, we have hated the oppressors. However, today, as we embrace a peace and have in our hearts a real love and kinship for you, our Canadian, Polish and other allied liberators. And on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, on behalf of the entire Dutch population, on behalf of the ambassador in Ottawa, on behalf of my immediate boss, the Consul General, I'm not the Consul General, Mayor, hope to be sometime, that I want to thank the veterans for all they've done. It really was a major event in the history of the Netherlands. In 1944, 1945, Holland was pretty well on its knees, and other parts of Western Europe too. And there were areas of Holland where they've given up hope to be ever leading a normal life again. And when the Canadian soldiers and other allied forces walked in, a jubilation took place. A cry went out of sheer joy, sheer relief, because there was hunger, there was death, there was loneliness, there's all the amenities were gone. And you did walk in, and you did liberate. And as if there's one nation with whom Holland identifies, and with whom they really have established a kinship, it is certainly Canada. There is this brotherhood, this sisterhood, where the two have almost become alike. Until today, the graves that in Europe, in Holland in particular, of course, are taken care of by children. That I was one of them when I came to Holland, I was taking care of about 10 of the gravesites with a toothbrush, by the way, which is a real tedious thing to do. But at least that the gravesites are looked after each 5 years, every 5 years, every 10 years.
Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. I bring you greetings on behalf of District A of the Royal Canadian Legion in this, the year of the veteran. We had the opportunity to remember and give thanks for the men and women who stepped forward to go to war. We remember those who did not return with our thoughts and prayers. But just as important, this year has allowed us to celebrate with those veterans who are still with us. We give thanks for their lives, their contribution to our community. The tulips which will bloom each year are tokens of thanks from our friends in the Netherlands. And as we see yearly, like them, we can give thanks for the peace and freedom that we enjoy. And final thought, if you love your freedom, thank a vet.
Veterans from all the communities that we visit, and I had a wonderful conversation with Mr. Jones, and he gave me a story, and it's all in this newspaper, which we're going to hand out for free Mr. Jones was a wireless operator, Lancaster 101 Special Duty Squadron, Bomber Command, Ludford, Magna, Lincolnshire, UK, April 29, 1945. And you were actually one of the first ones who dropped food over Holland. As you know, the people didn't have nothing to eat. And it wasn't just dropping the food, you were actually the test pilot, because he was sent out with the first 2 planes to see if they would make it. And if they would make it and come back alive, then 200 more planes would be sent out to drop the food. We thank you very much, Mrs.